Hello everyone, today we are going to discuss another topics of force, what forces can do, effect of net force on the direction of moving object, other effect of force such as pressure. So in the first activity, effect of force on change of the state of motion of an object and its direction. So in this activity, what we are taking a football, we are placing the football on the ground. So until and unless we apply some kind of force, the ball will be at its original position. Okay, the ball will remain in a state of rest unless someone kicks the ball. Now kick the ball. What happens? Does the ball start moving? Yes. Kick the moving ball again in the same direction. What will be the result? It starts moving only when the body kicks it, right? So here the football moves only when the boy applies a force on it. So thus a force can make a stationary body move. Now place your hand or leg against the ball. Does the ball stop or does it change its direction? It stops, right? So thus a force can stop the motion of a moving body when it is applied in the direction opposite to that of the body's motion, or when you are keeping your leg in between the ball will stop, okay, because it is distracting its path. Okay, for example, you might have seen children playing with a rubber tire by pushing it with a stick. They push the tire again and again with the stick to increase its speed. With every push, they are applying a little more force on the moving tire in the direction of motion. Hence, the speed of the tire increases continuously. If the net force acting in the direction of motion, the speed of an object moving with the constant speed also increase. If the net force act in the direction opposite to the motion, then it's either slows down the object or bring it to rest, or it may change the direction of motion. Your next activity is activity 12, effects of net force on the direction of a moving object. In this activity, hit a carom coin with a striker. Ask your friends to do the same. Does the coin move in the same direction in each case? If not, why? See, you can observe that in each case, the direction of the coin changes. When you hit the coin with the striker, not only does the coin change its direction, but the striker changes direction too. So from this observation, we can say that the net force stops a moving object or makes a stationary object move, and also changes the speed and direction of a moving object. Conclusion: a force can change the state of motion of an object. In activity 13, we are seeing the other effects of force. So some situations are given in the table. Observe the objects, okay, and its position, and you have to mark it as it is a what is the change in the state of motion of a particular object and the change in shape. The first is a lump of duff on a plate. So here how we are applying the force: pressing it down with your hands, as you can see in the diagram. So when you are pressing it, is it changing the state of motion? Is it changing from solid to liquid or something? No. Then is it changing its shape? Yes, because you are duffing it, right? The second is spring fixed to the seat of a bicycle by sitting on the seat. Is there any change in the state of motion? No. Is there change in the shape? No. Right? A rubber band suspended from a hook or nail fixed on the wall. By hanging a weight or pulling it free in, we are applying force. So is there any change in the state of motion? No. But is there any change in shape? Yes. A plastic or metal scale placed between two bricks. By putting a weight at the center of the scale, we are applying force. So in this, is there any change in the state of motion? Solid, liquid or gas? No. Is it any change in shape? Yes. Next, in activity 14, change in effect of the force with area of contact. So in this activity, we are taking a pencil. Just push it rounded in on your palm. Now push from the other side of the pencil gently so that the sharp end is on your palm. What difference did you experience and why? So you must have feel some kind of pressure on your palm, right? So why do the porters place turbans on their head? Why do they have to carry heavy loads, right? Why do school bags and shopping bags have broad straps and handles? Have you ever wondered why lorries carrying heavy loads have a large number of broader tires? So in this example, you might have noticed that the effect of force, it depends on the area of contact on which the force is acting. When there is decrease in the area of contact of the force or the load, then the effect of force increases and vice versa. So the force which is acting perpendicularly on unit area of a surface, that force we call it as a pressure. The formula for pressure is force by area, and the unit of pressure in SI system is Newton per meter square. So whenever you got the questions based on pressure, how you will calculate? You're having the formula pressure is equals to force by area. The last activity, identifying effect of force. So in this activity, you are taking two trays. You fill both the trays with lime powder or any fine sand. Now take two rectangular bricks of equal mass and similar shape. Drop one brick vertically in one tray and the other brick horizontally in the second tray from a certain height. So when you drop it, what do you notice? Do both bricks sink to the same depth in lime powder? Why it is not like that? So the brick which is standing vertically sinks deeper in lime powder than the brick standing horizontally. Right? Since the masses of both the bricks are similar, the force which is applied on the lime powder by them is the same on both the trays. The difference lies in the surface area of the brick in contact with the lime powder, because one brick we are putting it vertically and another brick as horizontally. Right? So the difference lies in the surface area of the brick in contact with the lime powder, and this is responsible for the change in the extent to which the brick sinks in the lime powder. So by this activity, the contact area on which force is acting is different in each case. Right? So this is because the contact area or the surface on which the force is acting is smaller, and hence the pressure exerted by the brick is more. For the second one, the contact area or the surface area on which the force is acting is larger, and hence the pressure exerted by the brick is less. Right? So from the above example, you can understand that for a given force, if the surface area is smaller, the pressure will be greater. If the surface area is larger, the pressure will be smaller. So it is opposite to it, right? It depends on the surface area. If pressure is more, surface area is less. If surface area is more, pressure will be less. Okay, so it is vice versa. So by this we have completed our chapter force. Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel for more videos. Thank you.